Tonight we're doing a special show. This is kind of a by request show tonight. Is Leo Goblik, are you in the house tonight? Frank says great sound. Good to know. Leo Goblik, if you are in the house, we are doing something special tonight. A couple of you guys know what it is because I've messaged a couple of you guys what we're doing. So I guess first things first. I just saw, and I didn't read any details, but I just saw. Here, we'll take this down. We are now live. Welcome. Going live a little early. Why not? Welcome to the show. Frank Toms is watching. Wave to Frank Toms. This is a little bit more stretching and getting up, so the old bones aren't liking it nearly as much. But, it's beautiful to be outside. It's a nice change of scenery for you guys. Uncle Meat will be joining me this evening. We've been working on something today for you guys. But anyway, the first news today is Fred Willard has passed away. Fantastic actor that you will remember from This Is Spinal Tap. Fred Willard played the Air Force guy at the base when Spinal Tap went to play. And Fred Willard was the guy who said, play a couple slow ones that I can dance to. So that's the sad news this evening, is that Fred Willard has passed away. And I wanted to mention that. In another musical movie that he was in was A Mighty Wind, where he played the manager of the new Main Street Singers. And it's sad. His most famous line, of course, from that movie is, "Hey, what happened?" If you remember, A Mighty Wind, fantastic, and of course, Best in Show, which is not a musical movie, but Best in Show, he played the sports commentator guy who really had no idea about dog shows, but he was doing the job anyway, and he was doing dog metaphors and all this stuff, or football metaphors with the dogs and whatnot. So I'm going to miss Fred Willard. He was a fantastic comedian. Very sad that he's gone. So we want to start off the show just giving a tribute to Fred Willard. It's, grew up with his comedy, really, because he was on SCTV, a few SCTV episodes when I was a young guy. So I always thought he was funny. We only have two people watching tonight. Scott Peddle and Frank Toms. Is that it? Can't really get going on anything until more people show up. We need more people. Of course, it isn't quite 6 yet. Let me invite some more people. Get some more people invited. Scotty Jeffros, we can invite him. My mom, of course. Of course, my mom. Invite everybody, man. There's Leo. Okay. Okay, so let's... hey, Steph Honda's watching. I hope you like Rush, Steph. That's what I've been working on today. We're going to be talking about some Rush. But I wouldn't mind if we had some more people before we really got going here. I'm also waiting for Uncle Meat to show up. So how you guys all doing? It's obviously a beautiful day here in the suburbs in Canada. This is delicious. This is very, very delicious. Well, you know what? We're going to bring Scott Peddle on camera if we can, just to get some action going here. Split the screen with Scott Peddle. I haven't been able to get a hold of my mom. Don't know if she's going to be watching tonight or not. Trying to get Scott Peddle added to the thing. Scott joined us last week. Where's everybody tonight? I guess it's nice enough outside that everybody is outside. I may have picked a bad time this evening to do a live stream. I'm not used to it being this quiet. Oh, keep drinking my coffee. I don't think Scott Peddle is joining us. Enjoying the day, Barb. I don't know where everybody else is. I don't know where everybody else is. Okay, well, I'll start by showing you some of the things I was going to show you today. Every 2 weeks during this pandemic, I have been ordering new music from Encore. And as a sort of a tradition, I'm trying to focus on albums that I've never owned before. And I am trying to order 4 in each shipment. So I just received my latest Encore Records order. And the first album that I'd like to show you is Yes Drama. You might remember this album from the Meat Challenge a couple of weeks ago. Meat challenged me to listen to this album with headphones and write a review based on one listen, simultaneously while listening. And I loved the album. I've been reading that this is one of Yes's heaviest albums. And this version comes with 10 bonus tracks, including 4 with John Anderson, from Sessions with John Anderson. So I've been enjoying this one very much. I'm really glad that Meat challenged me to listen to it. And yeah, this is now my first Yes album. So that's one. Number 2, this actually was a freebie. One of the guys that works at Encore is in a band called Sex Dwarf. This was the second album in the Meat Challenge. He has now challenged me to listen to Sex Dwarf, write it up after one listen with headphones. And I've done that. I've actually done it already. I won't tell you anything about this album because that would be spoiling the deal for you, wouldn't it? Except to say that I asked the guy who works at Encore if I could buy a copy. And he said, if I have one, I'll throw it in the box for you. So I was very, very happy to find that he had one, and he threw it in the box for me. Continuing my upgrade of my Scorpions collection, we have Love at First Sting. This is the 3-disc reissue. We have one DVD and 2 CDs. The DVD includes all the music videos, some bonus concert live at Madison Square Garden 1984. So this is a kind of a beefy upgrade for Love at First Sting. Derek Williamson, not seeing anything. Diver down. What's wrong, man? How come this... What do you mean not seeing anything? Frank says everything's all good. So what's going on? How come this is strange? Okay. Should I kill the live stream and start over? Tell me what I should be doing here. Give me some feedback. Next album. 2 CD reissue of Billion Dollar Babies. This is a band formed by the remnants of the original Alice Cooper group. Mike Bruce, Dennis Dunaway, and Neil Smith. They formed a band called Billion Dollar Babies. They put out an album called Battle Axe. That is disc 1 of this is Battle Axe. And then disc 2 looks like an entire disc of demos. Yeah, this looks really cool. I am not sure how good it is, but obviously I'm going to give it a listen because now I am the proud owner of Billion Dollar Babies Battle Axe. And one more treat that I picked up from Encore is Martin Popoff's book. Frank Tom says it's still good here, so I don't know. I guess maybe I'll try a reboot of the stream. Okay, we're rebooting the stream. Rebooting the stream. Rebooting the stream, rebooting the stream, rebooting the stream, inviting lots of people to the stream. Rebooting the stream, rebooting the stream, inviting lots of people to the stream, lots of fucking people. Alright, come on, Frank Toms, da 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 da. I wish there was just a way to just invite everybody. But, just keep going here. I'm not ignoring you. I am just inviting people to the stream. Alright, let's go with that. I think this is working better now. I think this is possibly working better now. Is it working better now? Rebooting the stream is a hit, says John T. Snow. Thank you, John. All right, let me just get my laptop going here so I can see your comments on my screen. I think this is possibly working better now. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. You guys don't want me to go back and review those my purchases again, do you? You don't need me to do that. This is excellent coffee, by the way. Rebooting the stream, rebooting the stream, rebooting the stream, rebooting the stream. Reboot is good, says Derek Williamson. Okay, I'm glad that this is working now. Yeah, so I placed another order with Encore, and I'm very happy with my purchases. You will be reading about Sex Dwarf next. Steph Honda's watching. Hello, Steph. I hope all is well in France. Derek Williamson is watching. I hope all is well in Thunder Bay. All is well in my coffee cup. Okay. I'll wipe my lips. Shall we try this over again? Shall we reboot the stream? So here are the discs that I bought. $1 Billion Babies, Battle Axe, 2-disc, reissue. Scorpions, Love at First Sting, 3 discs, one of them being a DVD. Some of these Scorpions DVDs are... Crazy World is weird. It does not work in any player I have. I don't know why. It's kind of frustrating. I don't know if this is going to be any better. Drama by Yes, remastered with 10 bonus tracks. And, of course, Sex Dwarf. Uncle Meat says that this is the second best album to come out of Kitchener, with Hibakusha being the best. Aaron Liebold commented on my video. Let's see what that's all about here. Hopefully he's watching the stream. Rebooting the stream. Rebooting the stream. Alright, so we've got 4 people watching. I was hoping for more. But perhaps more shall join. The Fred Willard thing. I'm going to Google him right now and see what happened to Fred Willard, since I don't actually know how he passed away. Fred Willard, remembered by Jimmy Kimmel, Judd Apatow, and more. Fred Willard passing, 86 years old. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know he was that old. He looked really good for his age, that's for sure. There is no man sweeter or funnier, said Jimmy Kimmel. We were so lucky to know Fred Willard, and we will miss his many visits. Yeah, Fred Willard was so funny. So funny. So I guess at 86, you know, he was a little older than, yeah. Anyway, that's just really sad. Gonna miss Fred Willard. Spinal Tap alumnus, Fred Willard, age 86. And John T. Snow says, so sad. He was fantastic, and you are correct. It is so sad, and he was fantastic. So I am going to raise my coffee cup and say cheers to Fred Willard. I have a Kiss towel / banner here that I'm using to block the sun, but I don't think I need it anymore. I think I'm good. I don't think the sun's an issue anymore. My kiss towel. There, now we got 5 viewers. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. We're just waiting for Uncle Meat to join whenever he joins, and we will be counting them down, counting them down, counting them down, counting them down. This is excellent coffee, incidentally. Excellent coffee. Hey, Jonathan Taylor, how you doing? Glad you're here. If you like Rush, you've come to the right place tonight. I'm wondering where Leo Goblick is. Leo, we were doing this for you, buddy. We're doing this Rush thing for you. Where are you? So we're hoping that a few more people will show up on the show. Eric, are you ready to rock this or what? Have you ever considered starting a YouTube channel? Jonathan Taylor, yes, I have a YouTube channel, but I'm not going to be doing that as like a main focus because it's not a healthy environment. YouTube is a hive of scum and villainy. All right, we're going to go live with Eric Litwiller, aka Uncle Meat. Hopefully I'll be able to hear him. Okay, we have a split screen. Make sure I can hear you. Say something, Meat Man.
I can't do my work. I don't think so.
I can't do my work. Some of the best, worst but best catchphrases of all time. Time. I don't think so.
I don't know if this is a family show or not, but I'll say it. Fred Willard was a fucking genius. Funny in everything that he was ever in.
I'm going to say it is not a family show tonight because I can't get a hold of my mom on the phone, so she's not watching right now.
I see. Well, Fred Willard is a class act. Always funny.
Extremely funny. So I was hoping Leo, who requested some Rush this evening, was going to be online by now. But, you're here, so we may as well kind of start this thing.
Okay, so you have Michael's picks, eh?
I have Michael's picks. Michael is not able to join us. He just sent me a message saying he won't be joining us tonight. But I've got his list.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
so do you want to explain what the concept is, since it was your idea?
Yeah, it's the Nigel Tufnel top 10 list. And today is our Rush studio albums.
Hey, Aaron McCafferty, how are you doing? How's your gigantic million-piece puzzle going? Yeah, so we're going to be doing the Nigel Tufnel top 10 Rush album list tonight. Counting them down.
Counting them down. And because it's the Nigel Tufnel list, we're starting at 11, not 10.
Yes, we are.
This list goes to 11.
Yes, it does. And
I'm
not going to let anybody read my list, but here's a picture of my list right here.
Mine's less
the
pretty.
Nigel top. Sorry, what?
Mine's less pretty. Okay, so I guess we're starting at 11.
We're going to start at 11. Now, do you want to start? What order do you want to do this in rounds?
Up to you.
Okay, well, why don't you go first with your number 11, then I'll go and we'll read Michael's.
Okay, well, my number 11 is this album right here, if you can see it. I don't know if you can see that.
No, I thought that was Vapor Trails. Is that Vapor Trails?
It is Vapor Trails.
Nice.
Vapor Trails would be my number 11.
You're the only guy that put Vapor Trails on his list tonight.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's cool. I love Vapor Trails. I think it's underrated. I do find, though, personally speaking, that is a difficult album to listen to in one sitting because it is mastered so harshly.
I really like a Peaceable Kingdom on that album. It's not a Rush song at all.
Kingdom is great. Peaceable Kingdom is a great song.
Yeah, it's a great album.
My number 11, Hold Your Fire.
if we were doing a top 19, considering they have 19 studio albums, that would be 19 for me.
Hold Your Fire might have been my number 19 20 years ago. But you know how you've said in the past that as you've gotten older, you've been more into pop melody and stuff like that? And I find myself drawn more to Hold Your Fire as I got older.
That's fair.
Not the frickin' High Water song, though.
Yeah.
Or Tai Shan or any of that stuff.
That's
more
fair.
stuff like Prime Mover.
Okay.
Oh, my mom's here, and so's Dr. Dave Haslam. Dr. Dave Haslam says to you, nice fucking beard. You have achieved peak hobo. Peak hobo.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. I wish I could see comments. I can't see comments. I can see some, but I don't see.
Them.
I don't see Haslam.
Well, I will keep reading you the comments, keeping you posted on what's going on in that regard.
Okay.
Michael Morwood's number 11 was Roll the Bones.
And okay. And he can't comment on that because he's not here.
But,
okay, so I guess that moves to my number 10.
Yeah.
And my number 10 is Counterparts.
Interesting. I will say this right now. Michael Morwood said something about Counterparts. He was kind of embarrassed about having it on his list. All three of us have that album on our lists.
Well, they have 19 albums, and we're doing 11, so it's not a big shock.
With a band like Rush's extended history, you do not expect an album from 1993 to be on all three lists.
That's fair. Yeah.
My number 10 is Hemi Spheres.
Okay. That's significantly higher on my list.
I wanted to spread my list out between all eras of Rush, and as far as the early era of Rush goes, Hemi Spheres is not as high as some of my other of the the concept album era, but it's worthy to be on the list, just for Cygnus X1.
Okay.
Michael Morwood's number 10 is the very first Rush album, the Subtitle.
Interesting.
Yeah. Again, he's not here to talk to us about that, but I think that's a bold choice. Obviously they were not the same band on the first album that they became.
It did not make my list.
So we're at number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
My number 9 is Clockwork Angels.
Clockwork Angels, the final Rush album.
Number 9. Absolutely.
Yes, that was when you met Alex and Getty and Jeff Woods.
What?
My number 9 is Fly By Night.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I like Rivendell quite a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And the title track is just it's Rush, kind of like at their pop best. The title track. Fly by night away from here, change my life again.
That's a song that a lot of non-Rush fans actually know.
Yeah, it does get played on the radio still regularly.
It's usually the song that people that are making fun of Rush bring up.
Yeah, because of the shrillness of that melody, yeah. And the corniness of it too. It's so corny.
Yeah.
My Signals at number 9.
Signals?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Yeah. It's on my list.
That sounds about accurate to where you feel Signals should be.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we're at number 8 now.
No. My number 8 is Fly. Number 8 for me is Fly By Night.
Interesting. Falling very close to where I rated it.
Yes. And I like it too. So I guess you're up.
My number 8 is actually Roll the Bones.
Not on my list.
not on your list at all.
But I do like the album
Interesting.
a lot.
Roll the Bones is an album I didn't get until like the mid '90s, and there's a couple songs in there that I really love, like Bravado, Ghost of a Chance, some of those.
Cool.
And it's incidentally the only Rush album that I bought on a 180-gram vinyl reissue. All my other Rush are basically primarily CDs, but Roll the Bone, my primary copy, is vinyl. That's kind of special too. Yeah. Michael, Moving Pictures at number 8.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's coming for him then.
No, because that's kind of like using Tom Henke in the third inning.
A little bit. It's a little bit like that. Very strange, too, that a guy who really isn't a sports fan is making a fairly accurate baseball reference.
Hey, man, I use them when I can. So we are at number 7.
My number 7 is A Farewell to Kings.
Ooh.
Which
nice.
Tom and I and Michael and his father Tim were supposed to be seeing Primus play all of, but no longer.
Yes, which is now, is it canceled or just postponed at this point?
Oh, it's been, I believe there are other, it's moved to next year, but I don't know.
Because, the difference being if they postpone the concert, you can't get a refund. If they cancel the concert, you can.
I don't know exactly what the situation is with that. I think I heard that there may have been dates that were booked, but I don't
know. Sorry, that was your number 7.
Mm-hmm.
A Farewell to Kings. My number 7 is the Grace Under Pressure Cooker album.
Yeah, that's your number 7. Okay.
I quite like album. I like the synth era Rush very much. Grace Under Pressure is kind of like a cold, wintry synth to me.
I'd say it's the best of their synth albums.
Interesting. Michael Morwood has 2112 as his number 7.
Okay. Well, that's funny because we're moving to my number 6, and my number 6 is 2112.
Aha! Kind of middle of the roading it. My number 6 is. My number 6 is Counterparts.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that you have that high.
That's right when I started buying Rush albums. And Counterparts was my second Rush purchase ever.
Oh yeah.
And I actually just listened to it again today. While making this list, I was listening to Counterparts.
Okay, so Mike's
is Caress of Steel. High on the list for that album that you don't often see high on lists.
I like the album. It's not on my list. If I really dug into it for a while, I could see it getting there. Never been a top shelf Rush album for me, even though it probably should.
Here's an interesting comment from Aaron Leibold. I didn't realize Rush had so many albums. He has 3 of them. The reason that's an interesting comment is because I was hanging out with Aaron Leibold the summer that I started buying Rush albums.
Okay.
So, like, he was there in the stores with me when I was buying a lot of these Rush albums. It's kind of funny.
Cool.
So we were at number 5 now. We're already into the top 5.
5. My number 5 is Grace Under Pressure.
Ha! That Aaron Leibold, Grace Under Pressure is the album that has your personal favorite song on it, Distant Early Warning.
Let's see. Well, I mean, Grace Under Pressure really doesn't have a bad song. And yeah,
Red Sector A.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. My number 5. I don't think anybody said this one yet, so I might be the first one to come in with Permanent Waves.
Permanent Waves at number 5. Top shelf album.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely top 5 material.
Indeed.
Aaron Liebold has just an early warning on Rush Chronicles, which was my starting point for Rush.
Rush Chronicles, yes.
That's the two disc greatest hits
Yeah.
with the brown cover.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot
I know
of
what it
people's
is.
starting point. It's a good starting point.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. Is it Mike Up? Yeah, it is Mike Up. It's number 5.
No, hang on. We've done his number 5. I may have screwed this up. I might have read some of his out of order. Number 5 is Caress of Steel for him.
Okay, well, something got screwed up there.
Okay, I'm going to go back, and we're just going to read his first ones. Number 11 was Roll the Bones. Number 10 was Rush. Number 9 is Signals. Number 8 is Moving Pictures. Number 7 is 2112. Number 6 is Fly By Night. Maybe I screwed that up. Number 6 is Fly By Night.
Probably.
Number 5 is Caress of Steel for Michael.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 4 is Signals.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another album without a bad song.
You know, there's some good stuff on that album, like Analog Kid and The Weapon. Scary song, The Weapon. Woo!
Yeah, that was pretty classic.
Really weird single. I think that single, the last time you guys kind of posted that track in the Sausage Fest group, I looked on Discogs for a copy of the single, and I think it was like $100 for a vinyl copy with Count Floyd.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I'm sure they didn't make many of those.
No. I believe it was a radio promo. My number 4 is A Farewell to Kings.
I'll tie up for that.
It's a fantastic album. I of the conceptual Rush, we're starting to get into the territory of my favorite stuff.
Yes.
Michael's number 4 was Hemispheres.
Hemispheres is number 4.
Yeah.
I'm more in line with Michael on that one.
Cool. Ready to hit number 3.
Number 3 for me is Permanent Waves.
Permanent Waves.
A reoccurring theme here that, again, an album without a bad song.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Jacob's Ladder is on there. Is that Natural Science as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My number 3 is Signals.
Yeah.
I got Signals very, very early in my Rush collection.
Yeah, we had it close.
I actually, my very first copy of Signals that I bought was the 24 karat gold, whatever it was called. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I've still got it.
Big time gimmick.
Yeah. Can't tell the difference. Michael's number 3 is Counterparts.
That doesn't surprise me. It's their heaviest album.
Yeah.
So
Well, no,
sense.
you know what? No, I don't agree with that.
It's their heaviest album, as in like
Vapor
hard rock.
Vapor Trails is heavier.
No way. Not even
Really?
close. There are metalish kind of
Has,
songs on Counterparts. There aren't that kind of songs on Vapor Trails.
Aaron Liebold says that he has Nirvana In Utero in gold. Got it ages ago. That's kind of a fun collectible. But I would definitely I would differ with you on this heaviest Rush thing. But that's fine. We'll move on to the number 2 slot.
My number 2 is Moving Pictures.
Nice. I was wondering where you were going to come in on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. Like, you just have to.
I remember Tom Morwood put a sticker on Moving Pictures at the record store. He put a sticker on it that said the greatest album of the 80s.
Well, he could have. Yeah.
Counterparts is the grunge album, says Dr. David Haslam. Counterparts is the grunge album.
I don't know. To me, it's their most aggressive album.
It's their most depressing one?
Aggressive. There are a few
aggressive one.
songs on there that to me are more aggressive than other songs on other albums.
I suppose, yes. My number
Alright.
2.
Yeah.
My number 2 is 2112.
See, I had that at number 6, and to me, that's every album that I've had from 5 to 1 are albums that don't have a bad song. I don't necessarily. I wouldn't say that 2112 has bad songs, but I don't necessarily love that second side. I don't not like it, but
I like it, with probably Tears as my least favorite track on it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Dr. David Haslam says that Stick It Out is one of Rush's only drop D tuning songs.
Yeah, and that's on Counterparts.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm gonna read Jon Snow's comment last because he's talking about his number 1. Michael Morwood's number 2 is Permanent Waves.
I agree that that's got to be up there.
Yep. So we are at 6:30, and we are actually already at the number 1 spot.
Well, the number 1 for me is Hemispheres, and it's not even
Wow.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Wow.
It's quite possible that my 2 favorite Rush songs are on that album, which make up 2/3 of the album. What is it? 3 songs on the album?
Wow.
No, 4 songs on the album.
No, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see that coming.
Cygnus X 1 Book 2 is maybe my second or third favorite Rush song. And La Villa Strangiato is my favorite Rush song. So, I mean,
Cool.
it's a no-brainer for me at number 1.
Harrison Kopp has just joined us all the way from Australia.
Hi, Harrison.
Harrison, we
From
are doing
Australia.
the Nigel Tufnel's top 10 Rush albums.
Yes.
We're about to go. Actually, we're going to go around with number 1. Eric just said his number 1 was Hemispheres by Rush.
Yes.
My number
Absolutely.
1 is Moving Pictures, and so is John T. Snow's. John T. Snow says Moving Pictures is his number 1, as that was his gateway. He can only do a top 7 though, because he only has 7 Rush albums, which is a good start. 7's a good
Absolutely.
start.
Yeah. You can't argue with that. Most people would have Moving Pictures at number 1, I think.
Yep. Harrison Kopp saying good evening to you.
Good evening.
And Michael Morwood's number 1, Farewell to Kings. That's his number 1 Rush album.
Well,
The Tim
I
Race
wonder
Award.
if that's because he knew that we were going to see Primus do it, and he listened to the shit out of it. Since then,
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can. Read his message. The last message that he sent to me. No, I can't open it right now. Oh well, no big deal.
Right.
Anyway, so that was what we were starting off tonight with. Was the Nigel Tufnel top 10 Rush albums, where the joke is it was 11. We went up to 11.
Why not? Because why not?
Why not? It's one louder.
It's one longer.
It's one louder. It's
Longer.
one longer, yeah. Now that Harrison Kopp has joined, though, I'm going to jump on to do some vinyl. Do you want to see some Sabbath vinyl?
Well, I'll get off of here and let you do your thing. But yeah, hey, it was something new to try, man.
Yeah.
I do it with Deke next, and do your top 10 Europe albums or something.
I think they only have 10 albums.
Well, there you go. That's a party in your pants right there.
Right there. Anything else we want to discuss before we go to the Sabbath vinyl?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It will happen. All right, I'm gonna cut you cut you off. Hey, what happened? What happened?
See you, man.
All right. So we have that was fun. Harrison Kopp made a request to see some Sabbath vinyls, and now that Harrison Kopp has joined us, boy from Australia, Dave Haslam says that Moving Pictures was his gateway into Rush, and Dave Haslam also says 10 too many. I think that's about the Europe albums. He's saying top 10 Europe albums is 10 too many. Dr. Dave. Always such a non-judgmental music fan, Dr. Dave. So non-judgmental in any way. We are going to look at some Black Sabbath 12-inch singles at the request of Mr. Harrison Kopp, all the way from Australia. And we are going to start with 1989's Headless Cross, title track from the album Headless Cross, which was considered a comeback. And Uncle Meat says that Dave is absolutely correct regarding the comment about Europe's top 10. Oh, Harrison Kopp says, how about Haslam's top 10 Transformers? Harrison Kopp is flirting with disaster. Okay, so Black Sabbath, Headless Cross. This was the title track from Headless Cross, which was considered a bit of a comeback album. It was the first one with Cozy Powell on drums and Tony Martin on lead vocals, of course. Neil Murray joined the band after the album was recorded. They recorded with a bassist by the name of Lawrence Cottle, the session bass player. And I believe he is also the bassist in the video for Headless Cross. The track listing is the full-length version of Headless Cross, which is quite a bit longer than the album, quite a bit longer than the music video version and the single version, which is on side 2. And side 2 also is a very, very rare B-side called Cloak and Dagger. It would be really nice if Black Sabbath would do a deluxe edition of Headless Cross so that we could get some of these tracks on CD. Cloak and Dagger, got to get the vinyl. Eric Litwiller regarding Haslam's favorite Transformers. That could get ugly with some very offensive names. And Haslam says, I could do a top 10 Transformers he'd like to set fire to. Oh my god, and then Harrison Kopp is saying that the Judas Priest song Loch Ness is superior to the Judas Priest song Painkiller. Which he's insane. Harrison Kopp is certifiably insane. I swear to God. He's a great, great guy, but he's certifiably insane. Second Black Sabbath single that we are looking at this evening is Devil and Daughter, also from Headless Cross. Devil and Daughter is a kick-ass tune, and there's no track listing on the back of the sleeve, so we have to look at the actual record to get the track listing. On the A side, we have Devil and Daughter. This is the album version of the track, 4 minutes 39 seconds. And on the B side, exclusive interview by Dante from Raw Magazine featuring Tony Iommi, Cozy Powell, and Tony Martin. And I've listened to this interview track a number of times because, it's kind of rare to find interviews with Black Sabbath with members other than the original 4. It's quite interesting. Cozy Powell was a big part of Black Sabbath at that time. He co-produced the album, and it's interesting to hear Tony Martin included. He was so youthful at that time. So that's a kind of a cool record to have. The big one, though, the one that excuse me as I pick my nose here. I'm really sorry. Sometimes you just got to pick. I had an itch right there. This is the one that Harrison really wanted to see tonight. This is from the Tear album, and this is there's the Tear logo right there. And this one is the single for Feels Good to Me. This is again featuring the Tony Martin. Oh, look at that beautiful, beautiful picture in the gatefold. The lineup is, there he is, Tony the Cat Martin, Neil Murray, Cozy Powell, and of course, Tony Iommi. The Tear lineup, which is actually the second most stable lineup, or is it the third most stable lineup? I think the third most stable lineup in Black Sabbath's history. I have a soft spot for the Tear album, and so does Harrison. Harrison quite likes Tony Martin, and why the heck not? Tony Martin was a good singer. I saw him live with Black Sabbath, and he was fantastic. This is a really, really cool single because of the rare material that's included. On the A side, we have Feels Good to Me, the single edit version. And the interesting thing about Feels Good to Me is Black Sabbath went off with a ballad as their first single from this album. It didn't do them any good. It didn't save Black Sabbath from the the depths of the bottoms of the chart, but they did try and release a ballad as the lead single from the Tear album. Feels Good to Me, clocking in at 4 minutes 41 seconds for that edit. Written by Black Sabbath with lyrics by Tony Martin, produced by Tony Iommi and Cozy Powell. On the B-side, live from Moscow, November 1989, we have 2 tracks, almost 10 minutes of Heaven and Hell, and then Paranoid. Harrison Kopp was saying earlier he gets really pissed off that the Heaven and Hell outro kind of is truncated a little bit to go straight into Paranoid, but that's just the way Black Sabbath were playing the songs at the time. Harrison Kopp says the B-side has his favorite version of Heaven and Hell, which is this one I'm talking about. And one neat thing about this extended version of Heaven and Hell is that he does the full band introductions, and he just sounds so excited to be fronting Black Sabbath and playing in Russia. He introduced himself. My name is Tony Martin. How you doing? He just sounds so excited and happy to be fronting Black Sabbath in Russia. When he introduces Neil Murray, Neil Murray gets to do a little bass lick, whatever. It's a fantastic extended version. Harrison Kopp is quite a proponent of the Tony Martin era of Black Sabbath, and I say, more power to you, buddy. I think the Tony Martin era of Black Sabbath is underappreciated. I think that they did 3 really good albums with Tony Martin. I'm going to talk about the Tony Martin era of Black Sabbath here, because I have some controversial opinions. Dr. David Haslam might think that me even liking Tony Martin era Black Sabbath at all is a controversial opinion. Okay, Harrison Kopp says, no, they actually cut the last verse. They say that life's a carousel to transition into Paranoid. That's what bugs him about that live version. Otherwise, I think he'd be very happy with it. Here's my controversial Tony Martin opinion. I don't like Eternal Idol. I know aficionados of 80s Black Sabbath consider Eternal Idol to be a high watermark. I know Martin Popoff has given Eternal Idol 10 out of 10 stars. I just don't hear it. I really don't. I think Eternal Idol has a handful of good songs. I don't think it has very many good songs. I really like the one tune that Ray Gillen sang backup vocals on. The name of it is escaping me tonight. Let's take a chance. Fuck, that was awful. Delete that. Yeah, I don't like Eternal Idol, and Forbidden is a piece of shit. Everybody knows that the Forbidden album is a piece of utter crap. It is garbage. That's the tour that I saw Black Sabbath on. The live versions of the songs were better than the recorded versions. It was an album they wrote very quickly. It was an album that had Ice-T guest starring on it, and it is by far the worst Black Sabbath album, Forbidden. I don't blame Tony Martin. Tony Iommi has been hinting at a remixed version of Forbidden for years now, which would be great. I hope that it happens. Harrison Kopp, Eternal Idol doesn't do it for me either. Seventh Star, on the other hand, I love Seventh Star. But that's an album that came before Tony Martin. I don't want to talk about Seventh Star. I want to talk about the Tony Martin era right now. So, Eternal Idol and Forbidden, those are my bottom 2. For Eternal Idol is considerably better than Forbidden, but I don't think Eternal Idol is as good as Cross Purposes, Headless Cross, or Tear. I consider those albums all quite good. I would probably put Headless Cross, number 1, then Tear, Cross Purposes, Eternal Idol, Forbidden. That's how I would rank my Tony Martin era Black Sabbath. Cross Purposes is a decent album. It kind of fell between the cracks. It came out in '94. Geezer Butler was back in the band. They had Bobby Rondinelli from Rainbow on drums. But it kind of fell between the cracks. It was the tail end of the grunge era. People weren't interested in Black Sabbath that didn't have Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy was still quite popular from the No More Tears period, and he was about to come out with another new album, Osmosis. I think Cross Purposes is a little light. It has a couple of ballads on it, but they're excellent ballads. Once Black Sabbath kind of, well, you know, they always did ballads ever since Changes and that kind of thing, and Planet Caravan. They've always done ballads. So, you know, Cross Purpose was a little ballad heavy, but I think they did some really good ballads on it. Shoot me. Tear, as a step above that, Tear had a, on the second side, it had something semi-conceptual. A little mini suite of conceptual songs about Vikings and whatnot. And I thought that was cool. Tony Iommi specifically, Tony Martin specifically didn't want to do another repeat of the satanic lyrics that they did on Headless Cross. They were pretty corny. Let's face it, the Headless Cross lyrics are really, really corny with the over-the-top Satanism. On the Tear album, he wanted to do something a little bit different. Leo Goblik just showed up. Leo, you're going to want to rewind all the way back to the beginning. We finished our the Rush segment. You're going to go back and catch the Rush segment, buddy. Sorry about that. I wanted to wait for you, but Uncle Meat wanted to go live, and we were doing the Rush thing together. So, sorry, but you can hopefully go back and rewatch from the beginning. And if you can't, I will be posting this to YouTube. Had a little bit of an issue at the beginning, so I've split this live stream up into 2 chunks, and I'll edit them together when I post everything onto YouTube tomorrow. Not going to do that today. I've been working my tushy off today, creating content. Tear had that second side with the conceptual suite about the Vikings, specifically because Tony Martin wanted to get away from doing the satanic thing, but wanted to do something still with some edge to it, some mythos to it. So I thought it was an excellent idea. Not everybody agrees with me. And finally, Headless Cross. I put that one at the #1 slot for the Tony Martin-era Black Sabbath because well, every song in that album is good. Really. Every song on this album, well, this is the single from the album, but every song is excellent. I think when you boil it down, Headless Cross really only had 7 tracks on it, because one of them, called The Gates of Hell, is just an intro. So maybe it's not even, maybe you should almost not even count it as a full album. But I do like it. I have a soft spot for it. Harrison Kopp, I'm curious about your feedback about what I just said about the Tony Martin-era Black Sabbath. Give me some feedback, Harrison Kopp. Harrison Kopp from Australia. Anyway, to sum up this evening, Uncle Meat and I and another chap who wasn't with us on camera named Michael, all 3 of us did our Nigel Tufnel's top 10 Rush list. And the gimmick between the Nigel Tufnel's top 10 Rush list is that it goes up to 11. So Uncle Meat, Michael, and myself, we all did our 11 favorite Rush records, and that was a lot of fun. I had Meat with me on camera for that one, and unfortunately Michael couldn't join us because you know, he's actually, I guess he's got a life, maybe. Leo's, yeah, no problem, buddy. I'm sorry, I wanted to wait for you, but we had to get going with the Rush list. I hope you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun for me to do. Yeah. Nigel Tufnel's top 10. Maybe we'll do this again. Maybe we'll do the Nigel Tufnel top 10 again for a different band next time. Meat joked that we could do the top 10 Europe albums, but Dr. Dave Haslam definitely balked at that idea. Harrison Kopp, no real disagreements. Wouldn't mind hearing about Cross Purposes live, too. Do you have What's the... Harrison Kopp mentioned a song. What's the Use? This is the only Black Sabbath track, officially released Black Sabbath track, that I'm missing a physical copy of. You can only get it on the Japanese version of Cross Purposes, and I have downloaded a copy of What's the Use, so I do have it on my computer, but that doesn't count. No. I have heard it. I tacked it onto the end of the album in my file folder so I can listen to it at the end of Cross Purposes like you're supposed to, but I don't have a physical copy. I've never found a copy of Cross Purposes for under $100. Now that I am kind of getting more serious about completing collections with rare Japanese imports and things like that, I will probably, within the next couple of years, I will probably splurge. I will probably drop $100, and I will probably get What's the Use by Black Sabbath and add it to my collection. But yeah, I don't have that one, Harrison. It's really too bad. And here's another thing. As soon as I buy a reissue of this, as soon as I buy a Japanese import of this, that's when Tony Iommi is going to do a reissue with bonus tracks. You know it. You can see the sun is starting to get into my eyes a little bit, but we'll be it's almost 7 o'clock, so the show's almost done anyway. Leo Goblick, okay, we are cooking pizza here. Oh, that sounds awesome, buddy. Saturday with, I assume you mean beer and pizza. It says Beber and pizza. I'm assuming that's a typo. Saturday with beer and pizza. And now enjoying your show. Well, thank you, Leo. Leo is from Argentina. We have Harrison Kopp all the way from Australia. So we've got quite a variety here tonight. And we had Steph Hahn from France earlier. Harrison Kopp says, go ahead and buy the import. Well, it's easy for you to say, man. It's my money. And also, when I say $100, that's usually US dollars. You convert that to Canadian, that can be like $130. Plus, then you've got shipping. And a lot of the time, you've got customs when it arrives at the front door. So, when I find a copy of Cross Purposes on Japanese import to buy, I will want it to be, A, as mint as possible. Hopefully including the Obi strip, or OB strip, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm going to call it an OB strip, Obi-Wan Kenobi strip. And I want it to be from a reputable seller. I generally do not do any business with any Discogs sellers that are rated below 99%, because it's how hard is it to just send somebody the right album in the condition that you advertised it. I don't take chances on anybody who really has less than a 99. So once I find a copy of Cross Purposes that's coming from a reputable seller in good condition, as complete as possible, for a price I can afford, I will pull the trigger on that, Harrison. Harrison says maybe he can wait for a reissue too, but I don't know what the legalities are with all of those Sabbath albums post Eternal Idol. I think the legalities are complicated. They haven't been reissued yet. The Black Sabbath reissue started, 10, 11 years ago at this point? When did the first Black Sabbath reissues come out? I'm thinking 2008, 2009. So, there's a reason that these things are being held up. I don't know what it is, but there is a reason. And we may never see them. We may never see these reissues that both you and I would easily, immediately purchase. So, until then, just for fun, let's look up on Discogs before we call the show a rousing success and call it, conclude it. I tend to trip over my words a lot after I've been talking for an hour without drinking anything. I don't have anything left to drink here. I just have a little bit of cold coffee left, and my tongue is dry, and I'm starting to trip over my words. But we're going to look up Black Sabbath, Cross Purposes, Japanese imports, to see what the current prices are on Discogs. Bear with me. My laptop is slow. There we go. Black Sabbath, Cross Purposes. Cross Purposes Live comes up. Why isn't the regular Cross Purposes coming up? Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Oh, good. I tuned in after Eric Willard is gone, says Ryan C. Mitchell. Good one, Ryan. You're in my good books, buddy. I'm just trying to find Cross Purposes by Black Sabbath. I want to see what the price is on the Japanese import. Here we go. Cross Purposes, 44 versions. I want to see what the price is on the Japanese import with the bonus track. There it is. Wow. This isn't bad. 15 for sale from only $44.70. That's not bad. There's one. Oh my God. One of my favorite sellers has it available. They can ship at this time during the pandemic. It doesn't have an Obi strip. It's listed as a very good plus CD. And the price, including shipping, is only $60 Canadian. I'm going for it. Here's a live stream first, people. We have not done this before in my live stream, but we are buying an album live. Harrison Kopp, thanks, buddy. Because of you, this is happening. I agree to this. I bought from this guy so many times. He has a 100% positive rating. I get all my Japanese imports from him. I'm going to do it. Place order and pay now. Done. Done. Check out using PayPal. Log in. This is so fun. I can't believe we've done this. Thank you, Harrison. You are the man, Harrison Kopp. Really appreciate that. There you go. Done. Paid. Wicked. And that's my instant notification from PayPal that it's done. Okay, let's just read the last few comments here. Leo Goblick. I think the Tony Martin era is... I'm sorry, I can't read that word. But I think he's saying underrated. Cross Purposes, Tear, Eternal Idol, and Headless are excellent albums, he says. Harrison Kopp says, given Tony Iommi is said to be remixing Forbidden and appears to be nearing completion, I'd say Iommi probably has the rights to those albums. I hope you are right, Harrison Kopp. My mom says, I don't know how you can talk nonstop for an hour. Kudos to you. Thanks, Mom. We had a few hiccups earlier. The live stream, we just, something was wrong. So I had to kill the original live stream and restart it. We did the live stream reboot song. And now we're back in action. I'll edit them together for YouTube tomorrow. Leo Goblick is laughing. And Harrison Kopp says, you're very welcome. Well, Harrison, I really appreciate you, man. Now, hang on a second here. I don't know what I did here, but that was way more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong message. That's why. Never mind. I was looking at a message from Encore Records from last week. Okay, well, it is 7 o'clock. Thank you for joining me this evening on this, what is becoming a tradition. This was the first outdoor show, and I had a blast. I hope you did too. Thank you, Eric Willard, for joining me this evening. Thanks to all of you for watching. Leo in Argentina, Harrison in Australia, Steph in France. I'm going to go and take it easy. I've had a long, fun day today. And I'm going to go and take it easy. Maybe go watch some Rick and Morty. Or maybe a Star Wars movie on Disney+. I don't know. It's still early. And that's what I like about doing these live streams on Saturday. Is that I've still got my entire evening to chillax. Thank you once again for joining me. Leo, I really hope you enjoy the Rush thing that we cooked up specifically just for you. And next week we'll do this again. Thank you. And you can check out this live stream on YouTube sometime tomorrow. I'll post it. Take care. Bye-bye.